see me is in the audience.
Just your luck.
Follow the voice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Apple TV panel in Hall H. Give yourselves a round of applause, guys. Yes. I'm Josh Horowitz. I host a podcast called Happy, Sad, Confused, and I'm so thrilled to say I'm the host of this epic panel today, which we are kicking off with the cast of Matchbox, the movie. Welcome, everybody. How's it going?
Thank you for letting us be here today. They told me if I don't lead into the... Can't hear me. I want to make sure the most important thing I want you to know... Right? True.
Yeah.
True. Thank you so much. Go backstage, just forget it. Anyway.
John, you've got some experience on this stage. We saw you here just last year on Hall H. You had a different costume last year.
I did. Full Peacemaker outfit, yes?
Peacemaker.
Just going for cheap pops, brother. Cheap Peacemaker pops, I don't know.
That's a lot of pop, brother. I feel like there's a lot of Comic-Con cred on this panel. Are there any newbies here? Has anybody never done the Hall H thing yet?
Somebody over there.
Okay, they're all veterans. They're in the right place. Look, let's talk Matchbox. Congratulations on this film, guys. We all know Matchbox. We all grew up with it. Set the scene for us. Maybe we'll start with you, John. What is Matchbox, the movie?
It is a global thrill ride about friends leaning into nostalgia because their anxiety has put them in an uncomfortable place. And hopefully we want you guys to root for them, and maybe they make it through and save the day. We'll see.
We'll see.
And on that note, I'm gonna drink this entire bottle of water.
Here comes the party trick. Yeah. Chug.
Oh my God, he's doing it! He's doing it!
He's doing it.
He's actually doing it!
Oh my God, he's crazy.
This man's a maniac! Stay hydrated, San Diego.
That's surely the most aggressive physical thing you've ever had to do on a stage. That's pretty tough.
Yes, it was. That was this moment right now.
Yeah.
Talking to you, there, definitely. I'm retired.
Okay, so for all of you guys, I'd love to hear what's it like seeing these iconic vehicles brought to life on the big screen. It's pretty crazy, I would imagine. For any of you?
Yes, so cool, so crazy. I grew up playing with Matchbox cars as well with my brother, and to drive these vehicles in real life, the Mustang I got to drive is unbelievable. Learning all these cool stunts that we got to do, these skills that we got to learn. You are a kid again, and the magic of making movies, it's just so amazing, and it kind of revitalized my feeling about the movie industry, you know? Love you too!
Oh, yeah.
Love you too!
Elf. You know, Josh, I gotta tell you, some of these stunts in this movie are some of the craziest things I've ever seen a human being perform, right? We have the best in the business, Sam Hargrave and his team. And, you know, growing up in Guatemala, thank you all for coming to my quinceañera. Yes, they're all from Guatemala, actually, yes. You know, you dreamt like moments like that could happen, right? Moments like this moment. And on Matchbox, the movie, like every day you had one of these pinch me moments. But the most impressive stunt, I hope I'm not spoiling anything. You know, John Cena would chug water every single day at such a rapid speed. Incredible.
Maniac.
Pretty good. Really hydrated, man.
Is it tough to get John Cena to break? Because we should say, as much as this is an action film, this is a comedy. This is a really fun movie. Are you good at, maintaining character focus on set, John?
It's a cry for help. I'm a lot of struggle in there. Yeah, there's no humor in my life anymore. Anyway, how's everybody else doing? I can't.
Give it for crash for help!
He's a broken man. Let's go down the line. I want to hear a little bit about all of your characters, because frankly, this audience knows nothing yet. This is kind of the big coming out party for Matchbox, the movie. So John, let's start with you. We're going to go down the line.
Oh no, let's go in reverse.
Okay, I'll bring over Arturo. We're going to start with you.
Please, yes.
Thanks, John. Here, I'll try it. Tell me, what's the question? My question. My character is named Ted, which is the most Caucasian name I've ever had in a movie. And then I played Ted also on AT&T, so really a lot of Ted going on lately. Thank you, I love you too, thank you. Don't use T-Mobile. So, the thing is, he's a chemistry teacher. He's a really lovely guy. He's kind of a scaredy cat. But the thing about my character is, you know, he cares about his friends so deeply. And so you really see in this movie from all these characters, how resilient you can become when it comes to taking care and protecting somebody you love. And also I got to ride a motorcycle, but I'll tell you this, they saw me ride a motorcycle once and they're like, cool. And then they just attached a rig and never like let me drive again, so that was pretty insulting.
You were too good. You were too intimidatingly
Yeah,
good.
pretty uncomfortable. Yeah.
Hi everybody. Hi.
So excited for introduction.
I get to play Charmaine. Charmaine is in love with her friends, loves her. She also loves this guy here, Ted. I mean, not Ted.
Oh my! Spoiler!
I play her husband.
It is so fun.
Right, sorry. That's
Matchbox taking a horny meeting.
sorry.
That guy got it. Got it in the back.
Thanks, guys.
It was a late move.
But she loves her friends, but she wants more for herself, and she wants to see the world, and she loves this guy and wants a life with him and wants to figure out how to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Sam.
Hey, everybody.
Yes!
Yeah,
Magic in here. Introductions. Yes.
I play Ted.
We are all dead.
I play Crosby. Whoa, I love this microphone. And he's a construction worker who's like a little bit of a homebody who really loves this character,
Ted.
whose name is Ted also. And he's sort of like put out of his comfort zone when he's like whisked away in this globe-trotting adventure. And watch me have a sip of this water.
Yes!
I'll chill out.
Okay.
Top that, Jessica.
He's done. I also play Ted. I play Amy Smalley. I play like a grounded, kind of salt of the earth, hometown kind of girl. She likes to be at home. She's an EMT and sort of moonlights as a race car driver, and is one of the other members of this group that really wants to glue this friend group together, and really has a special connection with John's character and Ted.
Ted is really the glue of this group. We've learned that today.
Like alone.
John, tell us about your character.
So obviously Ted has a gravity. We all know this. I think what's special about San Diego Comic-Con is the passion of people sitting in this hall, the passion of people outside these walls. Basically, our jobs right now is to stall for 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Because we're all thinking the same thing. You packed in here to be like, how did they do it? How did they make Matchbox into a thrill ride that we can enjoy? And we're trying not to give away any of the material because we're going to show it to you on these big expensive screens in 13 minutes and 21 seconds. So I can tell you about my character, but I'm not going to spoil it for you because in 13 minutes and 15 seconds, we're going to show you some stuff that I think is going to be pretty exciting. What I can tell you is, to those thinking, Matchbox, how'd they pull it off? I would like to think Sean and the Matchbox game did well with this movie. And in 12 minutes and 55 seconds, we're going to show you a sneak peek at that. So thank you very much for being here. Thanks for indulging us in a little anticipation. You will be rewarded because in 12 minutes and 55 seconds, we're going to show you a look at Matchbox. So thank you for indulging us.
When do we see the trailer?
Just to say, there's no clock. That's just an internal clock in John's brain. He's that good.
I mean, I figure right now it's got to be 12:30. 12:27.
Look, John, you've obviously done your fair share of action films in your time. What separated this one? Can you say anything about sort of?
Oh, scared shitless. So I gotta give props to Spencer Thomas. He's my stunt double. He, for 10 years, has risked his life where I am not courageous enough to do so. He runs at danger full speed. I don't. I like fight choreography. Some of you have seen me do that in WWE. That's what I feel I'm fluent in. Becoming invisible. That's my shtick. I hate ledges. I hate heights. I hate cheating death because as a fall down man, I know about the height that's not good to fall from. Sam Hargrave was like, hey pal, so we're doing this Matchbox movie and you read the script and there's a lot of crazy stuff there. We could do it without you, but we'd really like you to do the stunts. So each day I shit my pants. Because he had me jumping off a building. So I can say with confidence, Sam Hargrave is the only person I'll jump off a building from. He had me hanging from a helicopter. Oh, I'm spoiling it. There's still 11 minutes and 19 seconds. I did a lot of stuff that I was afraid to do. I conquered none of my fears. I'm still afraid to do that. I want to thank my cast for being so empathetic because they could see me uneasy and they were a great support system in times where I was scared for my life. They're like, dude, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll get you new pants. And I think they were amazed at just how much my bowels can move in 24 hours.
And we got you those new pants.
Yeah, they got me some new pants, which I then again soiled the next time I had to hang off a helicopter or something. Yeah.
It's the cycle of life, the
It
cycle
is.
of pants.
We
It's
all
just-
poop. I just did it in my pants. A lot.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of beautiful things, your director, Sam Hargrave, wanted to send in a quick message. He couldn't be here today, but we have a very special message from your director, Sam Hargrave. Take it away.
Now, we're going to show you the trailer right now.
The 7,000 person focus group. They approve. Well done, guys. Congratulations. Matchbox the movie. All right, so there might be more too. We'll see, guys. We'll see. Let's talk a little bit more about these relationships. You guys teed this up a little bit, but for you, Sam and Tiana, I'd love to hear a little bit more about Charmaine and Crosby. We don't have to talk about Ted unless you want to. But
The most important part of their relationship.
but how does that relationship, without spoiling too much, evolve, you think, over the course of the film?
Crosby and Charmaine are childhood sweethearts from those kids in that early scene to now. And, you know, Crosby is very much a homebody.
Yeah. And Charmaine is someone who wants to get out there, see the world, and so that's where they start. But as you see, there's a lot of action, and they are all pulled out of their comfort zones, and so we're sort of forced to grow and understand each other in ways that we may not have done before.
Or maybe not. See the movie.
Or maybe not. But yeah, so, what was really cool was to sit with Sam Hargrave for both of us to really plot out who these people were and what the relationship was. And just as much as Sam cares about the action and the stunts, and which are done practically, that is not CGI. They were flipping cars in real life. Like, it's so freaking cool. But as much as he cares about that and what we see visually, he cared about who these people were and who these characters were and watching them grow. And yeah, that was exciting for me.
Yeah. I think a theme of this movie is ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances, and that's pretty extraordinary. So like our relationship, you know, every relationship goes through some sort of struggle. So like to have that struggle juxtaposed with hopping the globe and flipping cars and things blowing up,
Taking out
you know,
bad
taking out bad guys or not. See them. The relationship grows or shrinks from that.
So they're all ordinary characters except for Ted, obviously, who's extraordinary in every way.
Extraordinary, yeah.
Arturo, you've described Ted as a bit of an optimist. Would you say you share Ted's optimism?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to clarify that gun was very heavy. I think any of us in that circumstance. Yeah, Ted is an optimist. I mean, it's obviously hard for him to have a relationship romantically with every character on this movie, but somebody has to do it. No, you know, what I love about Ted and I love about this group of friends is like, you know, a lot of times in movies, you know, people don't act as if something crazy is happening, but the fact that you have these ordinary people in these extraordinary circumstances, we can have lines like, sorry, are we gonna die today? Or like, is this the right outfit to die, you know? And so there's a lot of moments where you call out the thing that's happening that I feel as an audience member that I always want to hear. So yeah, 100%. I love Ted and I love everyone in this cast. I love them. Thank you, guys. Yo te quiero mucho a ti. Yo te quiero mucho a ti.
Jessica, I would imagine there has to be some training involved here. You're an EMT who also happens to moonlight as a race car driver. As far as I know, that's not necessarily something that you grew up doing.
No, definitely not. And actually, I was trying to think about, had I ever done any real stunt driving, performance driving like this in the past? Not really, not for any other job or movie or anything like that. So this opportunity was incredible. We had the most incredible team, the most amazing stunt drivers, and everyone training us. I got to learn how to 180 a car into a mark on the back of the car, do a 360 to a mark, skid out, fish tail out. It was so cool, and to do it safely, so you know you're not going to injure somebody or you're not going to injure yourself. It was just, I mean, it's like it's a dream come true to do something like that for work. So it was pretty amazing.
It was a guy named Mark, not a Mark. So yeah, pretty banged up.
I mean, also a dream come true, I would imagine. I mean, I love that you guys literally got to travel the world for this. You shot in some pretty amazing locations. Does anybody have a favorite? I know you were in Budapest, you were in Morocco, you were in Slovakia. Favorite location?
Or desert, we're all over. You know, I don't know. Any favorite locations?
I enjoyed Slovakia because it was so peaceful, so quiet. After leaving Morocco, which is turned up, okay, the city, the people, lots of energy, and the stunts we were doing with so many people, it was nice to have that and then go to something so quiet. Yeah.
I like Slovakia also because we had a bunch of freeway that was just for us, miles to do stunts on, and so just to do driving stuff, and so that juxtaposed to a beautiful, serene village hill background where when it would get to a certain hour, all the little cottages and houses would have their chimneys would start smoking up, and then we're crashing cars on that. It was very cool.
My favorite location, All Age.
There it is.
And I'll tell you why, because with 35 seconds left, this is the first crowd that got to see a piece of work that we're very proud of. We all did our best in this film. I forged friendships with all the cast and crew. We're really thankful to debut it in front of such a passionate audience. We're hoping that you guys like what you saw, that you tell the world to be excited for Matchbox. Mark your watches, October 9th, that's 10/9 if you're scoring. It's gonna be on Apple, so make sure to watch Matchbox the movie because we all worked really hard. We put together a great trailer that sounded like you enjoyed. We can't do this without you, and you're my favorite location of the movie. That's our time.
John Cena, a huge thank you to our cast for hanging out with us today. Don't miss Matchbox the movie, coming to Apple TV on October 9th. Give it up, guys. If only those guys had some charisma, right? It's a shame. That John Cena needs to really work on whatever he's doing. No, he kills it. I've gotten a chance to see that movie, by the way, guys. It is super fun. Mark your calendars, October 9th, Matchbox the movie. You'll be there, yes? Yes, you will. Guys, we are just getting started. There is a lot to come. We have a lot of amazing guests, some exclusive footage for you. Are you ready for everything and anything that Apple TV is offering the next few months and beyond? We are getting set for you guys because we have a lot of amazing panelists that are about to come out. Thank you for your patience. Are you ready? I want to hear from you. Apple TV's Dark Matter. Are you ready, guys? Here to open the box on season 2, which premieres on August 28th, is the amazing, incredible cast of Apple TV's Dark Matter. Give it up for Joel Edgerton. Joel, join us. Come on out. Jennifer Connelly, everybody. Alicia Braga, everybody. Dio O'Kenny, come on out. Author, creator, and executive producer Blake Crouch. Co-writer and executive producer Jackie Ben-Zekri. And executive producer Matt Tomac. Have a seat, guys. Welcome to Comic-Con. Hey, welcome, guys. No pressure. Hall H. We have some veterans here. You've done this before, Jennifer.
I've been here before. Happy to be back.
Always good to have you. Any newbies on the panel? Anybody? Elise, you've never been here.
Never been to Comic-Con.
How's it feel so far?
Amazing. These are the best fans. Literally. The best fans ever.
If only there was good energy in the room, right?
Yeah. I'm Brazilian. I'm all up for that energy. I love it.
All right, so there is obviously a lot to talk about, both looking back and looking ahead. We're going to start by looking back at season 1. We're going to jump right in. Joel, look, we all loved how incredibly chaotic that finale was for Jason facing off against multiple Jasons from other realities. A normal day at work, right?
Yeah.
What was it like filming basically against yourself in those scenes at the end?
I'm great to work with. I don't know how many times I've said that joke. It was weird. I mean, one of the reasons I did the show was the very unusual challenge of getting to play multiple versions of the same character. And it really hit home in that final episode of season 1 of doing, more than dozens of the same character and dealing with that sort of final episode. And the challenge that I'd gone in for became like a really complicated but really rewarding thing to do. As I think in season 2 is become an even bigger thing for everyone on the cast.
Yeah. For you, Jennifer, I'm curious, why do you think Daniela chose Jason 1 over all the other versions who claim to love her just as much?
Yeah, I think that she struggled with that question as well. It was really confusing one. But she talks about like the fact that in their lives when they were young, with all the people that different directions their lives could have gone, somehow they found each other and they met each other and they chose each other. And then somehow in this crazy scenario of all these literal other versions of her husband, that very same one found his way home to her. And she chose him again. And I think that she's someone who isn't looking for another path. She's looking for how to live the best version of the path that she's already chosen and that she loves, because she loves her husband and she's deeply committed to him and to the life that they've made together. So I guess there's something in that.
A little bit of a mind bender for an actor and from a screenwriting perspective, I would imagine. I'm curious for you, Alicia, I mean, why do you think Amanda risks her life and career to help Jason 1, a version that she doesn't really even know?
I think when she meets him in season 1, she feels in a way responsible for what's going on with him because she participated at Velocity on the creation of the box. And because this one is threatening his life, she feels responsible in a way for her friend and also for the creation that they did on the box. So I think that's why for her, the care for him and the empathy for him came first than everything.
Let's talk to Dio. Dio, how you doing?
Yo.
The Hall H, good to see you, man.
Yes, sir.
Make him feel welcome, guys. Dio, come on.
There you go. There, wait.
Let's talk about Whedon's obsession. His obsession with the box and that absolute freedom of the multiverse nearly kills him, obviously. Do you think he genuinely believes he can build a perfect world, or is he driven by greed, or what's his motivation?
Listen, first of all, stop traffic. I can't believe I'm here right now. This is actually incredible. Comic-Con, you guys are amazing. Thank you all for coming out. Hall H is definitely a bucket list moment. I'm losing my mind a little bit, but I'll try and stay composed right now. Listen, There we go. Oh, okay. Deep cut right there. There you go.
Like playing it cool, right?
I know. But listen, I think this season where we find Leighton is a very interesting place. I think, there's a lot of deep diving we're doing this season. We really get to unpack why he is the way he is. I think Leighton's nexus point is, I think with Jason's character, his nexus point is whether or not he marries Daniela, you know what I mean? And that's where a lot of branches come off of. But with Leighton, it's really who raised him, you know what I mean? Is it his absentee rich parents? Is it his grandfather? Is it, him, saying, you know what, I'm just gonna relinquish my inheritance and go to the hills and smoke peyote and stuff like that, So what happens when all these different versions of Leighton come together, And I think that's very interesting, just delicious chaos.
I'm curious for all the actors, how do you kind of mentally prepare to switch between all the different versions of your characters? Like, what do your scripts look like? How are you kind of differentiating?
Therapy.
I always think, it might sound a little boring, but, say for example, in my case with season 1, success, career success of Jason 2 versus a kind of feeling of Jason 1 that he's given up on his dreams and lived this sort of mundane life changes you energetically. How you view the world, how you, what sort of pep is or not is in your step, and how you talk and relate to others. And so the adjustments weren't so much physical, cosmetic things as much as energetic things, and it felt quite clear. And I think that's a testament also to obviously the writing of it, that I think people could track very quickly, oh, this is the world we're in and this is a different version of the character, even though they don't look like they got a weird hairstyle or something.
Right. So another weird hairstyle would be fun to do. I mean, you might want to advocate for that.
Season 2.
Season 2, spoiler. Speaking of season 2, Blake, Jackie, Matt, let's start to spill what we can. What can we expect from season 2 of Dark Matter?
Well, first off, I'm so happy to be the version of myself that gets to Hall H, looking out at all of you beautiful faces.
Yes.
Season 1 is based on the book, and we used every available moment, character beat we possibly could, because we weren't sure we would do another season. And when it came time to look at that blank page, it was like an endless corridor of doors, and some of them might be bad, some of them could be awesome, and it was our job to figure out how to try to level up what we had done. And imagine your home has been taken away, your job has been taken away, you've lost all of your friends, you've lost your whole world. All you have is your family. And that is where the Destins begin in season 2. Amanda and Ryan are lost in this world together, we call it World 26, kind of exiles from their universes. The whole season is really about being alone and finding the people to embrace and help you get through life. And of course, it's bigger, it's badder, it's more emotional than season 1, and I cannot wait for you all to see the trailer whenever it is. We could drop that. I mean,
Maybe we should show them now?
I mean, we're here.
I mean, we are here.
It feels like it would be wrong not to show something,
It feels
right?
like it would be
Is that
wrong
right,
not
Andy?
to.
I mean, do you guys want to see a sneak peek at Dark Matter season 2? All right, let's. It's a super chill, quiet season of Dark Matter coming. Looks awesome, guys. Congratulations. August 28th. Mark your calendars, guys. Joel, Jennifer, we teased it a little bit, but what can you say about where the Destins are at the outset of season 2?
At the beginning?
Yeah.
Searching, well, we're trying to, after everything that happened in season 1, find some sense of normalcy. And in the spirit of the themes of the show, this sense that you can't really go back and have a do-over, as you might call it. You got to acknowledge that, absorb what's come before you, and you've got to start from a new place. And then there's a sense of like defining what is home, because they've got to find a place to live. And that is a question of, is family home? Or is a place home? And what is home for you? So that's kind of where we start, right?
Yeah, I think when we first see them again, they're trying to have a simple life and a quiet life.
All doesn't
something
go according to plan.
Something
Spoilers.
happens pretty quickly that foils that plan. So then they're left kind of reeling and trying to find a place where they can rebuild and take stock of who they've become because of all of this, and because of the very existence of the box and what it means, and how they can be together as a couple. How can they be in this marriage if they don't really even know who they are anymore? So that's where we meet them.
So for you guys, for Blake, Jackie, and Matt, obviously season 1 dealt with the consequences of our choices and the roads not taken. Now the stakes are obviously even higher. How would you say those themes are evolving in season 2?
I mean, I think what happens in season 2 is they're faced with every choice. What happens when choices are unlimited? Who do you become? You know, the choices you make define you. I remember watching the end of the first season and literally thinking, just as like an audience member, now what?
Yeah.
Like, what are they talking about? Like, when you go home, like, now that you know that you can go anywhere and do anything, who do you become? What is your life? What are the choices you're going to make now? And that was such a daunting and amazing challenge for the story.
Yeah, I agree. And I would also say one of the things that we really wanted to talk a lot about was, you know, that question, the endless question. The road not taken is a very common question. Another question is it nature versus nurture? Am I who I am because of the things that have happened in my life, and because of the people in my life, and because, or something written in my DNA and genetic memory? And in this season, it's really fun to put our characters together and meet themselves. And it's kind of a fun thing to play with, like, who am I when you take away all of these other actions? What do we have in common? What makes us different? And, you know, I don't know if you guys had this experience, if you met someone like you and found them to be extremely annoying. I know that it's happened because, right, yeah, you and I. But I think it's one of those situations where what happens when you meet yourself? Do you love yourself, or do you find yourself hating yourself? And that's a really fun thing to play with and to watch our actors who are just extraordinary portray and live that theme out loud for all of us to think about when we're at home.
Joel got to have a lot of fun playing against himself in season 1, and the theme of identity is such a big part of season 2, and we thought, we have such a tremendous cast, and without giving spoilers, a lot of these folks get to have some scenes against themselves, and that is just a blast to watch unfold.
It's also, I mean, you kind of alluded to this. I mean, like, your characters, Jason and Danielle, are handling such extraordinary psychological stress. I mean, knowing that your new reality could be disrupted at any moment, that's a big thing, a weight. Can you talk a little bit about how that weighs on your characters this season?
Being also disrupted by yourself. You know, one of the great conundrums of the show is, particularly when they're looking for a world to live, is finding a world where the other versions of them either are not there, don't exist in some form, and they're not going to encroach guiltily on someone else's life or be found out, and that has to go for every member of the family, not just me, not just her, not just the two of us, but also the son, Oaks, you know, Charlie, the son. I'll tell you what's weird. As an actor, quite often you go to work and you go, oh, I've been through this, or I can imagine this, or I know loss, you know, I know grief, I know happiness, I know love. But there's so many things that get served up to you as an actor in this show that you go, this will never happen in my life. When am I mean, unless I'm on LSD, when am I going to sit down and have a chat with myself? Talk more about that. Although I do talk to myself a little bit, but that's, we'll deal with that another time.
Another panel, yeah. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I guess I think one of the things I really like about the show is how we have people exploring like things that we can all relate to as people in really extraordinary ways, you know? And I think one of the things that I really enjoyed that Blake and Jackie explored in this for my character was you know, like a lot of us in life kind of recreate situations that maybe we haven't quite resolved, you know, from our past. And we recreate those dynamics in new relationships moving forward. And I think that happens for Daniela in a way she never could have anticipated, and in a quite extreme and extraordinary way, where things that she's seeing in her husband, I think are, you know, reminding her of things that she experienced in her childhood. And I thought that was a really interesting way to again explore very real things that all of us as humans go through in this spectacular circumstance.
Yeah, at the end you have to ground it, obviously, even as fantastical as it gets, and that's why this show works, I think. I mean, exceptional actors, exceptional writing, and grounding it in a human truth, right? For you, Elise, I mean, the trailer we saw, some glimpses of Amanda outside of utopian Chicago. Can you tease us a little bit about what it's been like for her in her chosen destination now, and how it impacts her in season 2?
She's living in a very utopian world, which is so-called the perfect world because everything works, there's no climate change, it is, everyone has empathy. But at the same time, we find her struggling to belong to a world that is not hers. And like they were saying about all these characters trying to figure out what is home. Exactly, is it a physical space? It is people they love. And we find her struggling with that a little bit. And the encounter with Brian, I think, fills a void in her. And that friendship brings her to a crazy journey that we saw a little bit on the teaser.
Just the tease.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
But just compliment one thing very quickly, what they said, what I love about Blake's work, which the fans here probably are a big fan of science fiction and of Blake's work, is that he writes science fiction in such a character-driven way, exactly what Jen said and Joel, that I think season 2 is a lot about that. It's so human, even though there's so much action and so much, you know, craziness going on, you're really going through a journey inside these characters. I think they're going not on a journey between worlds, but also within themselves to understand who they are and how they can survive with this technology.
Blake teased this a little bit, but I'd love to hear from you, Dio, a little bit about the other variants of Leighton we're going to get to see this season.
Yeah, man. I think season 1 was around a lot of the what is going on, and I think season 2 is kind of like why is it going on. And I think with that being, you know, the mandate, you get to really dive deep into each of these characters and what led them up to where we found them in season 1. I think Joel had mentioned that, you know, in season 1, you see the family dynamic earlier on in the first episode, and then Daniela and Jason are separated till the end of the season. So for this show, you really get to see what that family is. And so with Leighton, you get to see, you know, what makes this guy tick. You know, why is he so all in on making this box work? And, you know, when you start having conversations, you know, Blake and Jackie and I met, and we just talked about making him as specific as possible. You know, I'm half Nigerian, half Kenyan, and I grew up in America, and there's an immigrant story there. I was like, okay, what if Leighton had a little bit about that? And, you know, he's in this 1% of the 1% of the wealthy, and he's, you know, the CEO of this company. Those are big shoes to fill and a lot to carry on his shoulders. And so legacy, you know, he's carrying the legacy of his family on his shoulders. And, you know, that's a motivation for people to say, you know what, the end justifies the means, kind of a thing. And if this is a character who's driven that way, and his other variants have similar, you know, this addictive traits, you know, maybe it's one is heathenistic and it's all about, you know, alcohol or sex or religion, you know, how do they push that ambition in the separate things that they're about, you know? So if you have a Leighton who's more of like a spiritual guy and he pushes that to the nth degree, you got a cultish kind of Leighton going on, and you got a tech CEO, billionaire, you know, we don't care what the technology is gonna bring out of people, we gotta push it, you know? I mean, we're dealing with AI today, you know, and that kind of thing of we don't care what the ramifications are in the next 10, 20 years, like just, you know, short-term gain, short-term gain, short-term gain, what does that Leighton look like, you know? Or, you know, when all those different versions of him come together, it's beautiful chaos.
You've got a unique opportunity here because you've got all your showrunners, your writers here. For the actors, you can pitch anything you want, any world you want to see. Put them on the spot. You've got 7,000 friends here. Put them on the spot. What do you want to
You
see?
guys want to yell some for them so they can give ideas?
We need an animated episode, like a manga. You know what I mean? Like
Animated or all the characters in space. They're all universe in space.
like what was that?
Sold.
Huh? Looney Tunes
Looney
version.
Tunes.
Absolutely.
That's good.
This is where it's born today.
The Disney version.
Bill, maybe we need to take the box somewhere else, like Brazil.
I see what you're doing here.
Yeah.
I see.
Take that. Can we please a universe that is Brazil? Hot, much hotter than Chicago.
Chicago.
I love Chicago, but I have to say, as a Brazilian, that's
We love Chicago,
very
but
cold.
we love Brazil too.
Okay, hey, season 3 in Brazil. We'll see you guys there. Sadly, that's as much as we can tease today. A huge thank you to this amazing panel. Make them feel.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Joel, Jennifer, Elise, Dayo, Blake, Jackie, and Matt. Thank you for joining us. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Give it up, guys, for the amazing cast creators of Dark Matter, everybody. Dark Matter 2 premieres next month, August 28th on Apple TV. Let's hear it one more time for this amazing cast and the creators. Dark Matter, everybody. Look, whether you're on board with Dark Matter now or later, trust me, get in on it now because it is a great show. And as you can see from that teaser trailer, it's epic in every way and it has one of the best ensembles on TV. Amazing. So guys, we are just getting started today. Do you want to see some more films, some more TV shows? Are you ready? Are there Silo fans out there? Does anybody like Ryan Reynolds movies? I don't know. Has anyone seen Widow's Bay, by the way? Well, we're gonna get to all that. But Paul H., it is time to plug in. Here we go. 2027. You've all waited a very long time for this, so please welcome the man who is bringing Neuromancer to Apple TV, showrunner and executive producer Graham Rowland. Give it up.
Thank you.
Welcome, Graham. Congratulations, man. Okay, so fans have waited literally 40 years for an on-screen adaptation of Neuromancer. Talk to us. Why is now the perfect time for this series, and what are you most excited for fans to see?
Thank you for having me. I think, 42 years ago, this book felt like pure science fiction. And, Gibson famously coined the term cyberspace to describe a digital world where people in the book go to escape and to interact with. And he did all this before the internet existed. He wrote about the collision of artificial intelligence and human intelligence before artificial intelligence existed. And now we're living in a world 42 years later where these things are part of all of our everyday lives. And so it felt like an appropriate time for us to revisit the text and to put it in a new light now that these things are actually here.
You've got a hell of a leading man. Callum Turner plays Case, a former console man. Yes, he's desperate to get back to his old life. Talk to me a little bit about the conversations with Callum about his character and what surprised you about his performance.
Callum is playing Case, and I think, first of all, a lot of us, JD Dillard, who co-created the series with myself, and a lot of the producers and Callum and the cast and crew came to this with a deep love of the source material. And Callum had read the book and had dove into this character. A lot of things we talked about, Case is a kind of an atypical protagonist in that he's a criminal, and he's a little bit rough around the edges, and he's a survivor. But one of the things that we all kind of gravitated to early on was this idea that in the book there's no mention of his family, and so he's kind of an orphan. And so everything he's doing out of an instinct of survival and an instinct, sort of a desperation. And I think that Callum threads that needle. He's also able to play the dangerous part of Case, the part that is the criminal, but he's also able to inhabit the humanity and the charisma. One of the things that we felt was very important was that, this is very much Case's story. So he is, from the beginning to the end, you're following him, and that charisma needs to carry you along for 10 episodes, and Callum certainly brought that.
He's got a little charisma, that guy. Sadly, Callum couldn't be here today, but he did want to deliver a very special message. And before we show that, I want to give a big thanks to Graham. This is a huge show that we've been waiting a long time for. Thank you for being with us, Graham. Thank you, Graham. Now to see Neuromancer on our screens. Give it up for Graham Rowland one more time, Comic-Con. And don't miss Neuromancer, coming to Apple TV January 22nd, 2027. It's John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein. Make them feel welcome, Comic-Con. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to Comic-Con. You're veterans.
Glad to be here.
Your film is super funny. I've been privileged enough to see this. Congratulations on Mayday, guys. What's the inspiration behind this one? Where does Mayday begin?
Well, it began with the idea of making a sort of a comedic version of the movie Misery. You can imagine something like that. He sees it. And then on top of that, we were inspired by the sort of buddy action comedies of the 80s and 90s that we loved as kids. Things like Midnight Run and Silver Streak and 48 Hours, where you combine together two very unlikely actors in a pair and let the fun begin.
I will say, like the bromance, which I think you guys already have a sense of, really makes this very, very special. I'm not sure who came up with the pairing of Ryan Reynolds and Kenneth Branagh, of all people, but 5 stars. Amazing. Brilliant idea.
Yeah, thank you. They are quite a dichotomy of performers, and it's sort of thematic, too, in that they both represent these characters from 2 different worlds that are suddenly kind of thrust together and forced to sort of overcome these preconceptions that they have about the other, they were both kind of born into thinking that the other person came from an evil empire, and it's really about just stripping those layers away and finding the humanity inside of each of them.
And I also think it's going to be an opportunity for people to see a different side of these actors. You haven't seen Ken Branagh, the action star, until you've seen Mayday. And I think he's going to start getting a lot of offers that, usually go to Jason Statham.
Yeah, watch out, Jason, right? Seriously. I mean, you guys obviously are masters at genre bending throughout. And it's kind of fun also, like, given their backgrounds, to think about this. Like, Ryan is obviously as good an improviser as there is in the business. And then you got Kenneth, who's like Shakespearean trained. I'm just curious, like, how you found a balance on set with their different approaches, or how did it mesh?
Kenneth spoke purely in iambic pentameter, which was difficult for us to take him out of. But no, I mean, they despite the fact that they both come from very different levels of sort of experience and genres, they really found the groove in terms of their dynamic. And as you'll see with the film, their chemistry is pretty palpable.
Did you find that, like, in the moment they did feed off each other? I mean, I'm sure you find that kind of groove at some point, right?
Yeah, they definitely did. I think that Ryan felt like he had to really bring it in order to match the sort of thespian level acting that Ken brought, and Ken, of course, wanted to make sure that he was carrying the comedy. But one of our favorite things to do is to cast great dramatic actors. An example is Jesse Plemons in the movie Game Night. Give it up for Jesse.
Iconic performance in that film.
Right.
Obsessed still.
It's amazing. But what we told him, and what he understood, and what Ken also understood in making this movie, is we're not asking you to come and become a comedian. Just commit to the role. Do what you would do if it was a drama.
Yeah, the more serious he plays it, the funnier it is.
Totally. You didn't think we were just going to show you a trailer. We have something special for the audience here in Hall H. Of course. Talk to us, guys. We have a clip. Set it up for us. What do we need to know? Congratulations, guys. Also, Maria Bakalova, always love her.
She's incredible.
Fantastic. Having seen the film, I know there's a lot of Top Gun in there. There's like, how many times have you guys watched Top Gun? How much of an influence was that on this film?
Once or twice.
Once or twice.
But I think part of the intention here, as we approach every movie we do, is to surprise the audience and subvert expectations, to take, that sort of 80s rah-rah, heroic fighter pilot icon and turn it on its head a little bit. And as the audience, as you saw in that clip, Ken Branagh, surprisingly, is the one who saves Ryan more than the other way around.
Yeah, because once Ryan's out of a cockpit and suddenly left to his own devices in the wilderness of Soviet Russia, he doesn't have the skills to survive, and Kenneth does.
We mentioned Top Gun, Midnight Run. Any other 80s films, nostalgia, that served as inspirations for this one?
There's a little Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, because they do take all of those things to get to where they need to be. And Misery, which technically is 1990, but close enough.
I see some Spies Like Us in there.
Yeah.
Loved Spies Like Us growing up. It's obviously not your traditional spy thriller. Were there any like action tropes that you enjoyed kind of flipping on their heads in this one?
Yeah, I mean, look, with every movie that we try to do, we take the road that people think they're going down and turn it into completely different direction, and the same applies here. But what was great and a trope that we did lean into was a lot of the sort of practical effects that we were able to do, especially in the third act of the film where we were driving an ICBM launcher through the streets of Hungary. With
Another day at the
2,000
office.
Yeah, with 2,000 crew and extras and
12 Soviet tanks. I mean, we had a lot of stuff out there. It was pretty crazy.
yeah, we're on a lot of lists now probably.
Amazing. It's all for a good cause. Congratulations, guys. Give it up one more time for these great filmmakers. I love their work.
Thank you, guys.
John Francis Daly, Jonathan Goldstein, thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you guys. I'll remind you guys that they're hilarious. Thank you guys. Thanks for being here. Their hilarious, action-packed new film, Mayday, premieres globally on Apple TV on September 4th. One more round of applause for those great filmmakers. Amazing. Fantastic. I'm telling you guys, Spies Like Us meets Midnight Run. It's there, and with a little misery in there. It is fantastic, and whether you do it or not, we needed Ken Branagh and Ryan Reynolds to collaborate. It's a fun one. Who's been here since Thursday? Who's been in Hall H before? Who's here for the first time? Whose first Comic-Con is this? So far, guys, to recap, we have given you Matchbox the movie, unbelievable. Mayday you just saw, and Neuromancer, that wasn't on the card, was it, guys? How cool does that look? Callum Turner rocks it. That is a show that is literally over 40 years in the making. Unbelievable. And yes, hosting these panels gives me some perks. I've seen all of these shows and films. They're fantastic. You're really in for a treat. All right, guys, we are ready to keep this moving. We have lots more to come. Take a look at this. Coming on 19 Emmy series, Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series, Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series, among many, many others. Widow's Bay is one of those rare pitch-perfect gems. It perfectly blends comedy and horror. It excels at creative storytelling in a way that is deliciously satisfying. I am totally obsessed, as I'm sure all of you guys are. The show takes risks that pay off immeasurably, and it's just an utter joy to watch, even when it's scaring the crap out of you. And don't even get me started on all the unforgettable performances by this truly dream cast. Lucky for us, we have a ton of seats to fill here, guys. We have a lot of the cast here. From Widow's Bay, I want you to make them feel very welcome. I'm so excited to introduce to the stage creator and showrunner Katie Dippold, everybody. Give her a welcome, Katie. Director and executive producer Hiro Garai. Give it up. And cast members, Stephen Root, the legend, come on, Stephen Root, Dale Dickey, give it up, Jeff Hiller, here he is, Kay Cowan, Kevin Carroll, and Kingston Rumi Southwick. Make them feel welcome, guys. Widow's Bay, come on. Congratulations, guys. We're all obsessed with your show. Unbelievable. All those Emmy nominations. I mean, you can't ever expect something like this. I have to ask you, first of all, what your reaction was to that side of it. Like, literally 19 Emmy nominations. How did you react, Katie?
I was pretty floored. That was very exciting. Dale, I think you had the best reaction now.
Dear God in heaven, what the hell just happened?
The best version of surprise, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did any of you have a moment where, like, you realized, oh wow, this show has penetrated the zeitgeist? Like, this is happening. Any moments in the last few months?
I mean, God, it's just been wild. Like, it's really, I don't know. It's just been crazy. I'm like mumbling and rambling right now. I am floored by the size of this crowd.
My aunt in Japan, who's never texted me about anything I've worked on, texted me how much she loved the show. So I was like, oh, something's happening.
Yeah.
It's amazing, I think, that it became a water cooler show. You know, day by day, somebody would come up and talk about the show, and then it became this whole thing, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys probably all felt great about what you did, but you never know, right? You never know if something, and this is like an unusual, obviously, the tone you guys hit. It must be so satisfying, like that your weird, crazy blend of genres somehow just resonated with folks. Amazing.
It's fun. Like I would always predict, like, will this show get made? Like when we were taking it out, we didn't know if anyone was going to buy it. But then we've got this amazing group, and but I would never predicted that we'd be at Comic-Con.
Obviously, this was always meant to be.
Really exciting.
I mean, this show has been in your head for a long, long time. I know. Talk to me a little bit about, I don't know, how it compares to your initial ideas for the show, how it's evolved from here all the way to back then.
So the first version was a spec for Parks and Rec, but it was more, it started off that everyone knew was a haunted town. There was no Wick in that version, which is a big difference.
Blasphemy.
Really?
Yeah.
Steven's angry. I can see. He's
Burn every copy.
I love you.
okay. I mean, the show, as I alluded to, it nails a very specific tone with its unique blend of comedy and horror, and yet it all feels like just normal and like it works somehow on screen. I'm curious, like on set, how did it feel? Like, did you all feel like you were on the same page immediately with what you were making?
Well, I think that's what Hero did. You know, he put us all on the same page, walking the line between comedy and horror and drama. And I think the tone of the show is everything. And if you get the tone of the show, you're going to get the show.
For the rest of you, Jeff, Kay, all of you, I'd love to hear just what it felt like on set in terms of like, did it feel like, oh yeah, we're nailing this very unusual tone, or were you surprised how it turned out?
I felt like every time I did something wrong, they would say, "Don't do that." Nah, that was a good guide rail.
First of all, I was never on set, mostly with anybody else except Matthew. And so I just felt like, this is pretty cool. So it just felt kind of normal to me. I couldn't tell about anybody else, and it all just seemed to me like we were regular people, weren't we?
I think one of the first conversations I had with Katie and Hero, we discussed trying to figure out what is the tone of this thing we're trying to do. And the further we got along into the process, I figured out that all of the answers were in the connections with the cast. If you trust the connection, the tone will reveal itself. And I think we started there and went forward.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really interesting because I don't think any of us knew what we were doing on set most of the time, but I think that the collective knowledge that like we're gonna do this and we're gonna do the best to our abilities is just good to create that sense of family. And Katie and Hero really did that, and just thank you guys, because look at what we did.
Look at where we are, right? Crazy. I mean, one of the things I think that like really resonated with folks, it's really resonated for me, is like it has such a lived-in quality. It feels like Widow's Bay is like a real palpable location, despite it being, at times it's heightened and fantastical, but it does feel like a place you could visit. Can you guys talk a little bit about just creating that kind of grounded reality, Hero and Katie?
I mean, I just go back to our initial conversation, and whenever we were talking about the world building, Katie would always be like, I know this sounds psychotic, but like I would stay in that haunted inn, and like I would want to get a coffee at that diner. And so, yes, the horror is there, and it should be sort of off-putting to be there, but I think there's like an inherent coziness, and like you love this place, and so I think that's part of the DNA and what makes the show so watchable, I think.
I would like to be killed there.
Yeah. That's a goal? Yeah. That's why you did the show, to create a place where you can die. Yes. Right. We've all seen the show, but let's get a little reminder. You brought a clip to show today, Katie, yes? What are we going to see?
You're going to see a clip from the episode 102 at the Inn, directed by Hiro Murai.
Heard of him. He's pretty good. Let's take a look. Widow's Bay, everybody. Scarred forever by this panel? Just happened. Well done.
Yeah. Fun. Matthew, originally the corpse was there with just a different shirt, and then Matthew was like, oh, he should be wearing a shirt like I'm wearing. And then wardrobe ran and quickly got the double for his shirt and put it on him. It was very fun.
That was all Matthew, yeah.
Love it. Well, amazing. Iconic. Instantly iconic. Well, don't tell Matthew I said this, but Stephen, is Wick the hero of the show? I feel like he kind of is. How did this character strike you on the page, and what did you want to bring to him when you started to read what he was all about?
Well, I played a lot of played a lot of heavies in my life, and what's wonderful about this character is I can bring some humanity into him, and I think that's where we started at the beginning. That to really care about this character, you have to see how tirelessly he's trying to protect the people on the island. And I love being myself a little more in this role than in a lot of other roles I've done. So I think it's about kindness, Yeah, it really is.
Thank you for giving this amazing actor such an opportunity. He's amazing, and it's amazing. Stephen Root, everybody. Emmy nominee, Stephen Root. Well deserved. Jeff, let's talk about Dale. He's tried to be supportive in Tom and Patricia throughout the entire season, but at the end, he did lose it, it's fair to say, in the shelter. What do you think?
According to whom?
I didn't mean any offense, I'm so sorry. What do you think caused him to crack in the end, and would you have cracked if you were there?
I mean, to be fair, that was a pretty screwed up movie he had to watch. I probably wouldn't have been quite as dramatic, but I would have freaked out too. We're talking about eating people and stuff.
You support it.
Not right.
It's not right. Kevin, I guess Bashir is maybe the most sensible character on the show, we could argue, and he does shoot a woman in the back, so we have to hold that against him, right? But do we think he's still fit to be sheriff, given everything that's happened?
The question of being fit is not the real question. The question is, does he want to be sheriff?
That's fair.
Of this, right, of this island. But I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And listen, he's fighting for his child. What parent in here wouldn't go to the nth degree for the sake of their children, right? That's what we do. Okay, there we go.
Speaking of being shot in the back, hi Kay.
Hi.
Good to see you. Did you know from the beginning how integral the mystery of Ruth was going to be to this whole story?
I knew nothing. I got to read the pilot. That was it. And then, when the first day I shot the pilot, the second day I shot like 7, having not read 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I had no idea what Ruth's journey was going to be. I had just put my life in Katie and Hero's hand. And thank goodness.
Kingston, obviously, okay, spoiler alert, we've all seen Widow's Bay, right? I mean, some major revelations, obviously Ruth's grandson, we've learned. Talk to me a little bit about the relationship between Kingston and dear old dad. Do you sympathize with Evan's frustrations? Could he have gone a little easier on poor Mayor Tom? What do you think?
I think that the relationship is a really big part of just the story and also watching it back. I think that if you look back and look at all the scenes with me and Tom, it's shot differently than most of the show. And I think that it really just tells a story of this is kind of bringing Tom back to reality, instead of him being so, trying to make the whole island picture perfect and trying to make it this next Martha's Vineyard. And I think that the relationship is so great because we keep a lot of secrets from each other, and I think that's what kind of keeps us honest. And certain things that I can do, he can't say that I can't do because he's doing things that he shouldn't be doing either. So I think it's a really fun relationship. Also, not just with Evan and Tom, but just with me and Maddie. I think that it's annoying because he's too funny and he's so nice and he's just everything that you want him to be. So it was good. It was easy to have that relationship with him.
We have to talk to the great Dale Dickey. Dale, Rosemary, yes, give it up for Dale, come on. Always amazing. Rosemary she's supportive to a fault. She keeps her cool, even managing, to turn a family lineage lecture into arguably, I would say, one of the most entertaining scenes of the show. How do you pull off a scene like that?
Well, Rosemary's answer would be a carton of cigarettes and a bottle of Fireball. Dale's answer would be channeling my my 7th grade English teacher, Mrs. Yancey, at audiovisual time, the lights would go down and I could go to sleep. And the amazing, unending, massive support from my cast members and crew. They were there with me, holding my hand. This man ran my lines with me. Thank you, Jesus. And actually,
she brought a prop.
it all started with cannibalism. Right, Mayor?
We don't talk about cannibalism. You know we don't talk about cannibalism.
Why, hello, Matthew Reese. Give it up for Matthew Reese, everybody.
Hello, Josh.
Welcome to Hall H, Matthew. Let's talk about Mayor Tom. How do you think he is, how effective is he as a leader, would you say, in your estimation?
I think his effectiveness certainly would be down to the islanders to judge. I think his enthusiasm is without question, without doubt. He is enthusiastic to the nth degree, and he wants the very best, not only for the island, but for those who live upon it. And so I would choose enthusiasm over possibly effectiveness.
This is fair. Talk to us. I mean, you balance like all the balancing act of this show, slapstick and sincerity, so damn well in this. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you found that balance for Mayor Tom?
I didn't find anything, Josh. That's how I live my life. My life is a balance. My life is a balance of slapstick and farce. And so it sort of seemed, it made sense.
Let's talk most importantly about your mushroom trip episode. How was it? Did you go method? What happened?
I mean, you know I won't divulge things like that, but needless to say, about 3 or 4 bottles of good Chablis will get you to that place, which is to be encouraged at times. It was a lot of fun. YouTube is the great provider these days for acting. So there was a lot of footage I shamelessly copied verbatim of people enjoying themselves, and that was to me the mushroom trip.
You absolutely nail it. We appreciate you zooming in from your undisclosed location. Give it up for Matthew Reese, everybody. We love it. Yes, Katie.
Wait, Matthew, did we catch you in the middle of a sauna?
Yes, you did. Although I did keep my shirt on for this.
Don't pan down, whatever we do.
No joke.
Matthew, thanks again for joining us. Give it up one more time. Matthew Reese, everybody. So for our panel here, look, there were so many fun blink and you'll miss it details sprinkled out throughout the series. And the nature of this show is like everybody's obsessing over all the details. Is there something that you've been excited to see the fans discover and obsess over in the show, Katie?
I'm so happy that the genealogy scene seemed to land with people, because that was one of the hardest things. And Dale Dickey here memorized that entire thing. And I remember it was the projector screen. Remember, it was like upside down on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
And so she couldn't even really use it. She had to really go by her mind. And I remember Matthew pulled me aside on set and said, "Do you hate Dale Dickey?" So I'm really glad that came together, because, my God, what she had to do.
Dale, you killed it.
Well, we appreciate what you guys made. This was such a special show. We're going to let you go so you can get back to work and deliver us season 2 as quickly as possible. Give it up for this amazing cast, creators of Widow's Bay, everybody. Hall H, make them feel welcome. Come on. Thank you, guys. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that show. Are you obsessed with Widow's Bay? It's so unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're gonna find out if Matthew was indeed in his sauna. We're gonna get to the bottom of that, because this panel is not over yet. Mayday, Neuromancer, Matchbox, Apple TV. This is, by the way, Apple TV's first Hall H panel ever. And you guys are a part of it. This lineup is stacked. I hope you brag to your friends that you were here today, because that's really the whole point of being in Hall H, so you can go to your friends and say, I was there, right? He was in the room where it happened. Thank you, Hamilton reference. Well done. We're finishing strong in Hall H. Saturday afternoon is where it's at. Thank you guys so much for being here. We have one more very, 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 very special show to talk about. We have maybe the most, yes, maybe, it might be that, maybe the most stacked cast on television. I'm obsessed with it. We've got some sneak peeks. Do you want some more sneak peeks before we're done? Don't worry, we're gonna take care of you. All right, Hall H, we're gonna finish strong. Take it away, here it is. Being underground under mysterious circumstances. Season 2 of the dystopian thriller ended with our first look at life before the silo and a showdown between Juliet and Bernard, and now we are seeing the devastating effects play out. Season 3, meanwhile, is peeling back the layers to show us how the events from 300 years ago outside the silo are the key to their future survival. But this is Silo, of course, so for every question answered, don't worry, 2 more are raised. To get to the bottom of it all today, we have an amazing panel. Please make them feel welcome. Give it up for Silo creator, showrunner, executive producer, Graham Yost. Graham, join us. Star and executive producer, Rebecca Ferguson, everybody. And stars Common. Join us, Common. Ashley Zuckerman. Ashley, join us. Come on out. Make them feel welcome, everybody. Jessica Henwick, join us. Give it up. And Alexandria Riley, everybody.
I love you.
Peace, what up?
Hi, Silo Cast. Comic-Con, Silo, Comic-Con. Hey, Rebecca, good to see you all. Okay, let's dive right into the season. We're in the middle of the season. Talk to me a little bit about, look, we're 4 episodes into season 3. The latest just dropped last night. What do you find exciting about the fan reaction? Because the fans are so invested in this show. Are you paying attention? Are you engaging? What strikes you about a Silo fan? Common, what do you think?
Well, I mean, a lot of my fan reaction goes on if my good friends, my mother, and my daughter call me and say they like it. They actually really like this season. And I've been super happy to just feel like different people. Like, I was on my flight coming from New York to LA, and the flight attendant was like, man, I'm watching Silo. I said, you watching it? He was like, yeah, I love it. Everybody's watching it. So when you're a part of something that you feel people are responding to it, because we put so much heart and soul into it and we love it, man, it just feels good. We here at Comic-Con, and to be able to share this art with people who care about art, it's just dope. And I like the different walks of life that love it.
Jessica, you have something?
Yeah, no, the test for me is whether my mum can remember the title. When I did Game of Thrones and when I did Star Wars, she would just refer to it as like House of Wars or Star Thrones, but she can get Silo, so that means that it's good.
That's the sign. Rebecca, look, you've been in like the most iconic, the biggest films, but Silo, there's something about Silo, isn't there? And what do you get from the fans? What do they want to know from you? Talk to me about how it's received for you.
I think I don't like reading comments under YouTube clips, and I started doing it and going down that rabbit hole, and people were like, oh, fuck off, memory drugs. They were like, losing memory, what a stupid idea. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, watch 3 episodes in. It's better than that. And I'm happy we've passed that.
Yeah.
It is more intelligent than just losing memory.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Graham, I mean, it's a bold choice to wait until season 3 to show why the silos were created. Can you talk to me a little bit about seeding that mystery end of before times in the first 2 seasons and why now is the time to kind of start to peel back the layers and tell the story?
We never forget in the writer's room and on the show that we're all here because of the books that Hugh Howey wrote, the trilogy, Wool, Shift, and Dust. And the first 2 seasons really followed the contents of the first book, Wool. And we knew the second book, which is Shift, which does tell the origin story, we knew that this was the time to do that. The problem with the book Shift is Hugh got away with it, but Juliet doesn't appear until the last page of the book. And we've got Rebecca Ferguson in the show. We're not going to have her just appear in the final scene of the season, so we came up with this story because when you find out how the whole Silo project began, the control of memory was integral to all of that. And so we wanted to have it in her story and then also in the origin story with Daniel's sister getting her memory wiped.
Obviously, this season is focusing on 2 major arcs that are a mere 300 years apart. How far out did you plan on that kind of parallel storytelling plan for this season?
Well, again, a lot of it was just baked into Hugh's books, but the thing for us in the room was to find the parallels, whether it's the memory thing or it's just a sense of desperation to find the truth. So Daniel and Helen are on this journey in the origin story, Ash and Jess, to find out the truth of what's going on. They know there's something going on, they don't know what it is. And it was fun to play in that kind of old-time thriller, political thriller kind of story. Right.
So for you guys, for Ashley and Jessica, were you Silo fans going into you joining at the end of last season? How familiar were you?
Yeah, I was a big fan, and I wrote Graham a little note just saying like, kudos, good job. And then like almost a year later, my agent said, hey, do you want to have a call with Graham? And it lasted an hour and a half. He cried, and he pitched me Helen's story from beginning to end, and I just fell in love with it and was like, yeah, I really want to be a part of that.
Once you learn how to cry just to convince people to do shit, everything goes great.
If you learn nothing else from this panel, just cry. You'll get what you want, right? How much crying did you do, Ashley, to get your role?
He didn't have to do any crying, and I got my role on merit alone, not by brown nose.
Wow. Wow.
But I was like a huge fan of the show, so it's a real gift to join and then for us to be able to create a whole new world within a show that we love. It's a very unique, special experience.
I mean, what were the conversations leading up to this season for you guys on how to approach your storyline? We only got a little bit of a tease of it at the end of last season, so it must have been, like, was it all new to you when it was presented to you? Like, did you know when you shot the bit at the end of the last season what was to come in this season?
I knew everything. Graham pitched me the entire storyline, like scene by scene.
Did I really?
Word by word. For my approval.
What about for you, Ashley? All laid out for
I
you?
think I'd read like a number of scenes, but yeah, I don't know. Like maybe my standards aren't high enough. I didn't.
Well, I
really...
remember getting to set and being like, "Hey, isn't it crazy what happens to your character in that episode?" And you were like, "What do you mean?" And
I think. Oh, we're getting into tricky territory.
I know, hard.
We were so close. We were so more.
I think Graham wisely left out a whole bunch of my story, and also I genuinely just didn't need it. I really loved the show. I worked with Graham before, and I loved his work, and Rebecca and Colin and Tim were fine. So like it's I was happy to join. That didn't get a laugh. I obviously think that they're great.
For Common and Alexandria, let's talk a little bit about Camille. I mean, this is a solid team you guys have, Camille and Robert. I mean, but now that Camille's head of IT, it feels like there's a bit of a shift, fair to say, in the dynamic. How would we say that your relationship on screen has developed this season?
It's hurt them. It's definitely hurt them. They're going through it right now. And I'm sad. I'm sad for them. But I think they needed that shake-up. We needed to see how they navigated as two people rather than a unit, because they were so tight. They were so ride or die. But now there's a lot of lying and secrecy,
and it's like, I think, Robert Sims' goal was to be like in a certain position and be like in that room, he wanted to be in that room. And for his wife to get that position, you have to have a come to Jesus moment in a way. Like, you got to humble yourself and figure out like, okay, well, we still a partnership, but then his wife is also not sharing information with him. So, and he's starting, the thing that he really wanted to get to, he's starting to understand that it may not be truth in that. Like, you have an identity in like being a part of the judicial, and then you realize that judicial may not be all that you think it was supposed to be. So now he has to shift, rethink, re-up who he is as a person, and do it in the midst of the silo may be in jeopardy of 10,000 people dying. And he doesn't have his partner. They used to share everything, pillow talk. It was good. But yeah, things are tough for Camille and Rob right now, but it's such great writing, man, because, you know, at first people used to come to me and say, yo, you the enforcer, and now you see so much more with this relationship and as it goes on, who Robert is.
Selfishly, we don't want you guys to be too happy because that we need drama, we need conflict, obviously, there it is. I mean, look, we all know this, I think, in this room, but like, sci-fi is our mirror into real world issues, truly, and I feel like this show is further evidence of that. Graham, and for any of you, I mean, why do you think sci-fi is that prism through which we can look at the real world? Why does it always work?
I think that it allows us to address things that that make it not a documentary, and we're not getting a lesson. We're just seeing people going through something, and it's not a history lesson. It's we don't know how it's going to turn out. That's the big thing. I mean, you can do a great World War II story, as Ash and I worked on one, but you know how that's going to end. You know, people here in Hall H don't know that everyone dies in Silo in episode 6. And oh no, it doesn't happen. I'm lying. No, but you don't know. And honestly, in the writer's room, we didn't know exactly what was going to happen either. We were following the books, but we also had to come up with our own stuff. But I think the desire for freedom, which is something Juliet is, committed to, and the desire for the truth. And I think one reason we love Juliet is because she had no interest in being a hero, no interest in being a leader, and yet ultimately she has to be both.
So we are
yeah, I was just going to say too, like, from my experiences of just receiving art, art has changed my life. Like, whether it was music, storytelling, like film, TV, theater, and the ones that were able to change my life didn't preach to me, much to what Graham is saying. They didn't beat me over the head with a message. And I think sci-fi allows you, or, to go into your imagination, but it's still like gems in there, still lessons of life and teaching you about life. It's just, I mean, from when we were young, we used to read certain books that were animated or whatever, and they were teaching us about life, but we were tapping into our imagination. I think sci-fi takes you to that world, and you still could get gems and life lessons when it's great writing and it's not preaching. Nobody wants to hear that preaching shit.
Well said. So look, we are 4 episodes in, but you didn't think we're not going to show you something special just for you guys, right? We have a special exclusive clip just for you guys, episode 5 of Silo. Hall H, Bernard lives. Please welcome back Tim Robbins, everybody. Give it up. Come on. Welcome, Tim.
I am alive.
Did you always know this was the plan, Tim?
Yes. Graham told me the story after season 1. And I was, that's really cool.
What can we expect now that he is back in this season?
Well, what's really nice about it is the opportunity as an actor to play a completely changed Bernard, not only physically burned across his body, but also just his entire worldview, his entire belief system has been shattered. And what he thought was truth was a lie. and what happens to an individual when they undergo that profound shift. And just a huge gift as an actor to be able to play that.
Graham, was this always part of the plan, bringing Bernard back?
It was. In the books, Bernard dies at the end of the first book, or halfway through and we thought, no, we wanted to do that. We wanted to see what happens when the bad guy becomes part of the resistance. And then the big thing was, well, how did it happen? And we said, well, what about Sims? And then that meant that there's something between Sims and Camille, played by Alex, that all these secrets, and we thought that gives us a real strong place to go.
Let's talk a little bit about memory, because it sits at the heart of this season. It's a weapon used against the people of the silo and as a key to their survival. It's not being able to trust your own memory. That obviously takes paranoia to a whole nother level. How do you think that is affecting the dynamics in the silo? For any of you.
Well, there's stuff that will be revealed about the history of this silo and what they went through 140 years ago. We get more of that, and we understand the cost of erasing people's memory, that it could save them, but it's also possible to destroy them. So that's the big part. And really it's ultimately, what are we without our memories? What are we without the stories? Matt Craven has a great part in the second episode where he lays out with Daniel the importance of memory, but also the destructive power of it, and how do you balance that?
For you, Rebecca, I mean, obviously Juliet, she's a fighter. She keeps fighting relentlessly. Why do you think her will is so strong, and what is she ultimately fighting for?
I think it's not just Juliet's strength that we're seeing, it's human beings' will to survive is what this is about. It's everyone's survival. I was thinking about memory. What was fun to play with was, now it's revealed that a narrative was being forced upon Juliet. And it was fun to play a character who is so strong-minded and so strong-willed, who works on memory, who does things according to information that she's been given, and then all of that is taken away. Yet she knows she's standing opposite someone she doesn't like, but she will keep digging. It's in her DNA to keep asking why. So you had the people who were benefiting from her memory loss, and then you had the old gang who were trying to bring her back, and she was constantly in the conflict of both.
For our other storyline, for Ashley and Jessica, what do we feel comfortable teasing? You've got your showrunner here, no pressure. What can we say is to come in this season for your characters?
I think, I guess the conceit's very clear. For 2 seasons, we've been talking about, I just discovered how to use the microphone. We've been talking about who built the silos and why are we there, and then now we get to explore that. So that's very clear that that's what the timeline's showing. But I think it's going to be very surprising in what way we decide to show that. I think it's far more interesting and nuanced. And I think the story we think we're watching or we think we're telling is very different.
No, you got it.
She's like, let's quit while we're ahead.
Nice work.
I mean, we should talk. I mean, the relics are a very interesting aspect of the show. They seemed like such a small detail at first, but this season reveals why relics are banned in the silo. How long have you and the writers been working to pay that off, and were there any Easter eggs that were seeded in the early seasons?
A lot of them, frankly, we just discovered along the way. The Pez was not planned. I mean, yes, we take massive donations from the mighty Pez Corporation for the show, but no, we really didn't know that was going to be something, and then it just sort of started to have some resonance in an odd way. And what you find out, this is a bit of a teaser, but in this episode you find out that they don't want relics because they don't want people to remember. And that tangible things can help you, as Matt Craven's character Victor says to Daniel, can you find things that you and your sister had when you were kids, and that'll help trigger her memories. And so we know that that's going to be a part of the story in the silo.
So there's a lot going on, needless to say. For Tim and Rebecca, I'm curious, like Rebellion is obviously brewing. We've got new alliances being forged. We've got Kyle, Bernard is alive, thankfully. Orla Kent is sadly dead. Camille's willing to do anything. There are conspiracy theories. There's a lot going on. Okay, a lot going on. What can we expect as we wrap this up, as we forge ahead in this season? Rebecca?
Tim.
Tim? Pass.
Lots of surprises, lots of revelations, and some pretty damn good entertainment.
There it is.
And I will say really quickly, we knew from the beginning that we wanted this season to start answering many of the big questions. So you will find out how the Silo project began. And that's about all I'll share about that, but that is the goal of the season.
Should I just skip ahead to season 4? Because you all...
Season 4?
What can we expect? It's been renewed, we're getting season 4. Is there anything you can tease that far ahead?
I can tell you that this time next year, season 4 will be on.
There's your exclusive, guys. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. This has been a thrilling season so far, and we all truly can't wait to see how everything unfolds to set up the final season. Episodes of Silo Season 3 are currently airing exclusively, of course, on Apple TV, with new episodes dropping every week. Don't miss it, guys. A huge thank you to this amazing panel. Thank them, guys. Rebecca, Tom, and Tim, Ashley, Jessica, Alexandria, and Graham. Make some noise, guys. The cast of Silo. Well, guys, I'd say that's been an amazing debut in Hall H for Apple TV. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Did you enjoy? What an awesome lineup of shows and films. A reminder, don't forget to take the ticket. You guys all got tickets that you received. You can redeem it for an inaugural Hall H Apple TV t-shirt. Oh, yeah. You can get that, there it is, at the Manchester Grand Hyatt on Harbor Drive, Grand Hall B. Guys, thank you all so much for spending your afternoon with us. As we go out, take a look at this, some of the awesome films and TV shows we talked about, and some sneak peeks at more to come from Apple TV. Check it out, guys.